Tommy DePaulo, 26 Fairmont Avenue, Chapter 8. Right after New Year's Eve, but first we would have our last Christmas on Columbus Avenue. Dad put up the Santa Claus fireplace for the last time. It was made of cardboard. 26 Fairmont Avenue had a real fireplace. Mom put the cotton snow on top of the Santa Claus fireplace and set up the Christmas village. We had a manger scene, too. Next year, Mom said, we'll get a brand new manger scene with all new figures for our brand new house. There's their manger scene. On top of their fake fireplace. On Christmas Eve, the neighbors came by for a party. Mrs. Crane was crying a little. I'll miss you all next Christmas Eve here on Columbus Avenue, she sniffed. My dad gave her a hug. Carol Crane said she'd miss me, too. Mom said, well, you can just all come up the hill to 26 Fairmont Avenue. It was a great Christmas. Santa brought me an Uncle Wiggily game to go with my Uncle Wiggily books. I got a harmonica and a Jeep doll. The Jeep was an animal from the Popeye comics. Buddy got a catcher's mitt and a softball. We got lots of other things, too. Carol Crane got an authentic Shirley Temple doll. It was so big and looked so real, I expected it to sing and dance. Oh, there's the Shirley Temple doll. And that must be his Jeep. I know Jeep to be a car, but apparently it was a cartoon character before that. On Christmas Day, after church, we went to Tom and Nana's house for Christmas dinner. Uncle Charles was there, too, as well as his best friend, Mickey Lynch. We didn't call him Mr. We had turkey and dressing and gravy. Well, Timothy, me bucko, that's what Tom always called me. It won't be long before you're in that nice new house. I'll bet you're excited, Tom said. Excited? Tom was right. On New Year's Eve, my mom and dad got all dressed up like movie stars. Mom had on a long black evening gown with long gloves and silver shoes. Dad wore a tuxedo with a bow tie. They were going to the Wallingford Elks Club New Year's Eve dance with Uncle Charles and his girlfriend Viva. Mr. and Mrs. Crane were going to go too. Carol was going to stay with Buddy and me. Althea Morin came down from upstairs to take care of us. We were going to have our own New Year's Eve party. Mom left us brownies and Cokes in the icebox. Mr. and Mrs. Crane gave us party hats and noisemakers to use at midnight. Okay, so that is Tommy's mom and dad. And that must be his Uncle Charles and Viva. Gee, Buddy said, midnight sure takes a long time coming. I'm going to take a nap after I drink a Coke and eat some brownies. Carol, Althea, and I played my new Uncle Wiggily game. We listened to the radio. The doorbell rang, and it was Mr. and Mrs. Moore and Althea's parents from upstairs. They had a bowl of hot popcorn and some ice cream. To help us celebrate, Mrs. Morin said. Mr. Morin tuned the radio to a program from a fancy nightclub in New York City. And now, the radio announcer said, for our entertainment, singing his latest hit, the lilting voice of everyone's favorite Irish tenor, Morton Downey. Morton Downey was my mom's first cousin. I woke Buddy up. Cousin Morton is singing on the radio, I said. So what? Buddy said. Let me sleep. You'll miss New Year's, I said. I don't care, he said. There's ice cream! Okay, said Buddy, I'll get up. I'd get up for ice cream, too. We put on our party hats, drank Cokes, and ate popcorn and ice cream. The radio announcer said, and now to Times Square. Listen to the crowd, folks. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy 1940! We blew our noisemakers and shouted, Happy New Year! in just a few more days. Here are the pictures that go with that page. That is his cousin, Morton Downey. And that's him trying to wake up Buddy. Stubborn Buddy. Oh, there he is, finally getting up when he heard there was ice cream. And I guess that's all the kids blowing their silhouette again. Blowing their noisemakers and throwing confetti and stuff. "26 Fairmont Avenue" by Tommy DePaula. Chapter 9. This is the last chapter, guys. Everything was crazy. Mom and Dad were packing boxes, packing clothes, running around saying, "Don't forget the clock, and which box did this go in?" "Here we are, Floss and Joe," some neighbors said, coming in the front door. "Tell us what to do." "Hi, boys," Uncle Charles called as he drove up in his car. "Ready to go?" We were going down to Wallingford for the day, so we wouldn't be in the way. We were moving, actually moving. I wanted to help. I wanted to see everything. But think what a big surprise it will be to see your new house all fixed up, Mrs. Crane said to me. Well, maybe she was right. And I could see that Mom and Dad had a lot to do. Spending the day with Uncle Charles and Mickey Lynch was great. Uncle Charles bought us comic books. We visited Cousin Mabel and her husband, Cousin Bill Powers. We visited Aunt Nell. She made us sandwiches and tea with sugar and milk for lunch. "Is it time to go yet?" I asked when we finished eating. "Not yet," Uncle Charles said. We went across the street to Tom and Nana's grocery store and spent the afternoon helping them. I put cans of food up on shelves. There he is, helping stock his grandma and grandpa's grocery store. And this must be... Oh, that must be Aunt Nell, because he said they had sandwiches and tea with her. It looks like they're drinking tea, doesn't it? "Now can we go?" I asked. It was beginning to get dark. "Soon," Uncle Charles told me. "First, we're going to have supper." At Tom and Nana's house, we sat in the kitchen, eating at the big kitchen table. It was covered with an oilcloth tablecloth that had pineapples and other fruit on it. "When can we go?" I asked. "When your mom calls," Tom said. Tom read me one of my comic books, and I played with the special wooden blocks that were kept in the sewing room. Tom, Buddy, Uncle Charles, and I played Chinese checkers. It was already getting dark outside. The telephone rang. I jumped up. "All right," Nana said. "I'll send them on their way." There he is. There's Nana getting the call, and he's going, woohoo! Buddy and I ran out to Uncle Charles's car. We picked up his girlfriend, Viva, and Mickey Lynch, and we were on our way. There they are, going out to their car. Look at that old-fashioned car. It wasn't old-fashioned then. It was new. Through Yalesville, through Tracy, through South Meriden, on to Hanover Street, we turned up Highland Avenue. We drove up the long hill and turned right onto Fairmont Avenue. The lights were on by the front door of our house. We climbed the makeshift stairs. The real stairs wouldn't be ready until spring. There on the wall beside the door was a black metal cutout of a tree branch with the silhouette, we've been learning about silhouettes, haven't we? Of a squirrel sitting on it. At the end of the branch was the number 26. "Go ahead," Uncle Charles told me. "Push the doorbell." I did. I heard chimes ring. The door opened. There was Dad. There was Mom. "Welcome home," they called. "Here's your new house." I ran in. I ran up the stairs. I ran into my bedroom. There were 2 brand new beds, 2 brand new dressers, and on the wall a mirror that looked like a ship's wheel. The beds were turned down, and there on the bed nearer the door were my pajamas. It was my bed. It was my room. It was my new house. It was my wonderful home, 26 Fairmont Avenue. Oh, there they are at the front door. And do you see the little squirrel that he was talking about? Here's another picture of it with the number 26 on it. I like the lantern lights hanging by the front door. Cool. The end for the time being. And he says for the time being because he says at the end of the story in this author's note, I believe, that he wants to, oh yeah, here we go. Yes, there will be more. After all, my sisters haven't been born yet, and the Second World War hasn't started. Enough. Meanwhile, I hope you'll enjoy sharing more of my early life with me, meeting lots of family and other old friends. So he wrote this in 1999, and you know what? I meant to look and see if I could find the follow-up books to this, and I never have, so I need to look for them. So anyway, have a good rest of the year, guys. Bye.